Well, hey everybody, and welcome. My name is Roger, and this is your daily tarot map for Tuesday, September 15th, 2015, using tarot to create the life you want. So before we get started, again, I want to thank everybody for liking, for sharing, for subscribing to these videos. I really appreciate your support. So this week for our daily tarot map, we are working with the Tarot of Delphi, created and illustrated by J.D. Hildegard Hinkel. And the three cards drawn randomly from the deck today were Judgment, the Three of Coins, and the Ten of Coins. So three powerful figures are portrayed in our first card: a young Kronos, the god of time; Macaria, the goddess of sacred natural death; and lastly, Dike, the goddess of moral justice and judgment. Definitely some intense figures, but they represent intense ideas. Because the Judgment card is all about self-reflection and self-judgment. Not always an easy thing because, hey, we're biased. Now, what this calls for you to do is to take a good hard look at ourselves and the choices we made, for ultimately we experience the consequences of those choices. That's to say, if we're a jerk to people, they're going to be a jerk to us in return. If we're abrasive, confrontational, or a complainer at work, then we shouldn't be surprised when we are passed up when promotions come rolling around. So it's not, if we're not exactly where we want to be in life, we might want to stop for a moment and ask ourselves, what decisions have I made that have brought me to this place? Now, the Judgment card requires honesty on our part when self-evaluating. We like to put the blame on others when we find ourselves in less than desirable situations. But again, it is our choices that have brought us here. But that doesn't mean we need to be stuck with those choices, because judgment is often about experiencing a breakthrough, an aha type of moment. Kind of like Ebenezer Scrooge does at the end of the Christmas Carol. So, in our next card, the Three of Coins, we see several people working together on an enormous monument. Now, this is typically a card of teamwork, of a collaboration, of working together, and it might point to the need of working more closely with others instead of taking the lone wolf approach to things. But this card is also about prestige and reputation. Yes, it's a card of mastery, but it is our mastery over something that leads to our positive reputation in society. Remember that self-reflection card that we talked, that self-reflection that we talked about in the last card? Well, this may be where that breakthrough moment comes in. So if you have a reputation of being difficult at work or being a tyrant, now's your chance to change. Or perhaps you don't have a reputation at all. Maybe your business is floundering because people don't know about you or about your offerings. So this is your chance to begin anew, to really take a moment and shine. Drawing in others at this time might prove beneficial to you and or your work, as well as the goodwill, create goodwill in those around you. So put yourself out there and become known. So we see this picture of goodwill continue in our last card, the Ten of Coins, which depicts a woman and her children in a serene and happy home environment. This is a card about joy, abundance, security, a family, and it also serves as a reminder that it is in our loved ones where true wealth lies. The reason we work so hard and strive the way we do is for those close to us. Imagine working in a complete vacuum without any human contact whatsoever. Imagine how boring that would be. I think after a while we'd lose our desire to strive and our motivation, and our goals would probably fall by the wayside. So today I see this group of cards as a progression from a harsh realization that we've made a difficult situation for ourselves, and then working through the contentment and satisfaction we find in our last card, the Ten of Coins. We have the potential to build and create a new life or environment for ourselves, to change the way we react to situations and to people. Doing so will not only benefit us in the long run, but also those around us. So the message today for these 3 cards is, it is when we lose sight of ourselves that we lose our way. In order to create the best version of ourselves that we can, it's sometimes necessary to start over. So today's advice card comes from the Symbolon deck, and the card drawn randomly from the deck was the Spiteful Troublemaker. So what an interesting card this is. The Spiteful Troublemaker, he's the pain in the neck, the trickster. But this doesn't represent necessarily another person who is causing you grief. It can point to ourselves. You know that saying, we can be our own worst enemy? May be true in this situation. Many of us sabotage our own efforts by our actions or lack of action. You know, we might inadvertently alienate others by careless comments, broken promises, or lack of follow-through. You know, what this card does is urges us to see if we can find this annoying little fellow inside of us and figure out what makes him tick. Once we begin noticing him and then silencing him before he has a chance to do any damage, we'll find that his antics become fewer and farther in between. And that's it for today. If you liked this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click the like button below. And visit my website at tarot-dude.com if you'd like to book a personal consultation with me or find out my contact information. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Brightest blessings.